So first and foremost, I want to say welcome home to not just the Empire, but our team called the Fierce and Focused. You have completed, Betty, so congratulations on that. You are a part of like a very small percentage of people who actually complete this. And so I want to run down really quickly and kind of screen share with you guys a couple of our groups that we have to clarify exactly what they are. And some of you probably have noticed the system. We have a system set in place literally for everything. So if you have a question, more times than none, there is already an answer to it. You just have to plug into all the systems that we have and like search the group. So I'm going to share my screen with you really quickly. This is not going to take too long at all. Okay, so the first group that we have is called Simple Proven Results. This is a group that every single person that you talk to goes in. This is a leads group. Now, if you add someone to this group and you have a conversation with them and you have a connection with them, that means that is your lead, your customer forever, unless there is no connection made. So make sure that if you are adding someone to this group, that you are creating a connection with them. You're talking about the ketones, you're having a conversation, because a lot of people are in this group who have no connection with other people and they've just added them. In that situation, if you come across someone that you're talking to and they have already been added to the group by someone else, you need to refer them back to who added them and call it that. If it arises that they don't want to work with that person or what, yada, yada, now don't ever entice them. There are rules to the groups. I would highly encourage you guys to go through and look at the rules, which I'll show you in just a second. But this is where you add anybody and everybody to. You can utilize all of the resources in here. You can use it as a recipe group. You can utilize it as information about ketones. You can talk about the jump program, which we have going on, and we will always have going on. And then the next group that I want to talk about is We Prove It. This is a group for everybody to be added to if they are wanting to know more about the business. So there's multiple videos in here that you can share with people, but I share this video right here. How many of you guys watched this video actually? What in the world? My computer's been acting up today, y'all. But anyways, how many of you guys actually watched this video? Because I sent it to you, and that's how you learned more about the business. So you add them to We Prove It, you share this video with them, and we have a whole process for that. So if you have someone interested in the business, I can point you in the right direction for those scripts. But this is our business leads group. Okay, so you're not going to have to, I add them to Simple Results and We Prove It, and you'll see in the scripts, in the boards where it shows both of the links for those. And then we're going to move on to, I don't know what's going on with my computer. So the next group that I'm talking about is our home team group, the Fierce and Focus. So we are just a group inside of the Empire, and Empire is a team inside of Prove It, right? So we are working towards being our own empire, if you will. And we're called Fierce and Focused. It's not I don't even know why I said it's Fierce and Focused. And so everything, we're working to like really set up this group that has everything that you need, so you don't have to go outside of the group. I love plugging into the Empire because we are always running right next to everything the Empire is doing. So you're never going to be confused. But you can come in here and you can find all of the replays for Thursday nights, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. I typically will post leaderboards in here at the end of every single month. Here is your onboarding, which all of you guys have already went through. Here's where you'll find Betty too. Like there's a link for Betty right here. If you have someone who decides to join your team, this is where you will direct them. Here's another thing of how to create a cart. There are so many resources in this group that you can utilize to build your business. If you just search the group, there's on every single group, there's a magnifying glass that you can search. And then the same concept here, we have the Empire, and we're working actually on together to get this group cleaned up a little bit because there is 10,000 people in here and there's a lot of stuff. That's why we have Fierce and Focus to kind of break it down and make it a little bit more simple. So the Empire is just the Empire. There's a lot of stuff that goes into here. There's more information about the jump. Like I said, we'll talk about that again in a second. And then that covers all of the groups that we have. And so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. So the next thing is we have a Telegram chat and a Telegram channel. Okay, so hopefully you guys are like, if you're not writing this down, then maybe you have a really good memory. But we have a Telegram chat and a Telegram channel. You can go in here for support. You can ask questions. You're going to get very important information. It's very imperative that you keep up with this chat. maybe not the chat, but the channel that we have. The chat's more so for people to ask questions, for connecting with each other, hyping each other up, talking about the trainings. Everything's going to be dropped in there, but I have a channel that's going to have only important information. So if you do nothing else, make sure that you are paying attention to the Fierce and Focus channel, because everything that's important is getting put in that. We also have, and so if you have not yet been added to the channel or the group, the chat or the channel, please send me a text message, and I'll give you my number here in just a second. The correct number. You can send me a text message and say, hey, can you please send me the link for the Telegram? And I will do so. The next thing that I want to mention is boards. So we have scripts laid out for you to follow. You do not have to know what to say to anybody. This is super imperative for your business. When I first started this, I did not follow scripts and I did not have sales. So if you feel like you're having a hard time closing people, it's more than likely because you might not be using the scripts correctly, or you're just altering them because maybe you're talking too much, or you're sending the scripts all in one motion without them being responsive. So you really want to just follow the scripts that are in the boards. If you don't know how boards work, you can search the Empire group, and then there is a tutorial on there about how it actually works. You just go and you put it on your keyboard on your phone, and it pops up a little bubble on the bottom side of your screen, and you click that, and then it automatically puts the script up into your message where you don't even have to type it out. It's very effective and it works very well. So if you're wondering how I get almost 200 new enrollments every single month, it is because I'm using the systems and I'm using the scripts. And that is super important for you guys to know. If you leave this meeting with nothing, please leave the meeting with knowing that you have to use the scripts in the boards. It is super important. So the next thing is, so we recently shifted from the program that we were doing Pick 3 into Jump. And so the Jump program is a 14-day program. You can learn more about what that is inside of the Empire. And then we also have a training that we did last night that will be a replay in the Fierce and Focus group. But we are leading with that. So we are now a program-based team. So if you do the program, you lead with the program, the chances of you getting customers are going to actually go very high, because people need programs to feel secure in what they are getting, i.e. ketones, right? And so the next thing is go live daily. And that's like, I like to have a standard for our team, right? And a lot of people are scared to go live, but I'm going to tell you it's the quickest way that you can be the most successful. So please try your best to go live every single day. And if you cannot do that at least 3 times a week, you just want to be as consistent as you possibly can. People need to see you show up. And whenever you're going live, people can share you out. You can get in front of more faces. You're able to get your personality out there so you can attract your tribe. Going live is just very, very important. The next thing is trials are optional. So I know you guys see a lot of times people promoting trials, and I promote trials and all this stuff. I have accumulated, because of the free products and the smart ships and whatever, I've accumulated a lot of product that I have in order to do trials. You don't have to do trials. They're very optional. Don't feel like you have to do them to be successful. If you want to, you can put the products on your smart ship, have them shipped to you, and then you can just build your own trials. And then there's also training in the Fierce and Focus group for that as well. The next thing is we have trainings on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights. Those are the main trainings that you need to pay attention to. Wednesday nights is for the Empire, where Jessica Lee typically comes on and she trains us, and she always brings fire with something new. And then Thursday nights is for Fierce and Focus. And so we get together. We're going to start shifting into having more different people speak with inside the organization. So if you are ever interested in, speaking, and if you feel like you're doing the thing and you want to like share that with people, then please send me a message about that. But Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then the next thing is you can text me. The only number that you should send me a text is to the 471. So 843-471-8225. The other number that maybe you guys have is a number that I'm sending text messages out to. It's like, I'm going to update you about anything that's important. Not always, but more times than not, I'm going to send you a text maybe about training reminders. Most of you have gotten that text last night. And as far as everything that's important, I think that's all. We also have power hours every single day at 9:30 Eastern in the morning, and then 10 p.m. Eastern So if you can, please plug into at least one of those. It's an hour of guided tasks to run your business, and they are always ran by car earning champs. So they know what they're talking about, they know what they're doing, and they will give you some very great tips. So any of you guys have any questions at this point? Can you, maybe you can raise your hands, or you can just type in the comments. Did I answer questions that you guys did have? Maybe you had some questions. Let me go ahead and stop the recording. So thank you guys for watching this. If you're watching the replay, and make sure you send me a text.